Hey guys, so every one of us has probably wanted to see a bit into the future at one point, right? It's a completely reasonable desire. It would be able to help us decide what to do, what to expect in one or another situation, and how to make it through various trials. So the coming new year has us very interested what a year with 3 2s will bring. Dun, dun, dun. Now, interpreters are finding new things and sharing their interpretations with the world. So let's look and see what some famous predictors saw in the future, which is now the present for us. So Michel de Nostradamus, also known as Nostradamus, was a French pharmacist and alchemist famous for his predictions. His book, Les Prophéties, was published in 1555. What did he predict for 2022? To start, 2022 is not the predicted end of the world. He described the year of the tiger as shaking the world and predicted huge natural disasters. Now, according to Nostradamus, 2022 could also be fatal for humanity. An explosion could change the Earth's climate and position. Also, the world will be covered in darkness in 2022 for 72 hours. The seer said that the Earth could also experience a powerful attack from space. He wrote about an asteroid raid. Nostradamus supposed that one of the largest rocks could fall into the sea or ocean and cause a powerful tsunami. Also, Nostradamus spoke of the death of an important person who had great political weight. Who exactly is up to interpretation? Maybe a president or maybe a queen. Nostradamus predicted intense famine in 2022 as well. Various places in the world will experience famine. Money will lose its value. The West will prepare for a great and terrible war, but it will come before a plague that won't leave animals or humans untouched. Baba Bunga was a blind Bulgarian woman who had the gift of prophecy. She's been dead for 26 years now, but her prophecies continue to stir people's minds. Now, this is what she said about 2022. In many cities around the world, people will suffer from thirst. Humanity will feel how hard it is to live if there isn't enough water. India will experience a drought and dry spell that would result in a famine because of the intense heat. Bunga predicted a new epidemic of a lethal virus that would come from Siberia and become a tough trial for humanity. According to her, a new infection would be found by scientists in Siberia in the permafrost. Money will be replaced by numbers. It seems like she's talking about bank cards and cryptocurrency. The Bulgarian seer may have said that in 2022, people will become rich but without money in their hands. This prediction can be interpreted differently. Some are convinced she meant an increase in the value of cryptocurrencies. Others think she means a sharp decrease in the use of cash around the world. If humanity can't turn away from money, then millions of people will be thrown to the lions and the crisis will continue for many years. Medicine will experience a huge breakthrough, some kind of discovery done by doctors that will help to defeat some terrifying disease. You might be wondering, well, what did she predict about the coronavirus? Well, according to Bunga, it isn't going anywhere in 2022. She also saw that humanity would finally get used to the new rules of life. It's not possible to defeat the artificial COVID-19. It came from nowhere, and there it should return. If you believe Bunga, 2022 won't have any war or natural disasters. Edgar Cayce was an American mystic, medium, and self-proclaimed healer. Cayce was the author of several thousand stenographically written responses, called readings, on various questions from diagnoses and treatments to information on the death of civilization. Since an overwhelming number of them were made during a sleep-like trance, he has been called the Sleeping Prophet. Edgar Cayce is famous for his predictions of 2 wars, where he predicted the dates of their beginnings and ends, the defeat of Germans at the Kursk Bulge, the end of fascism and the victory of the USSR in World War II. Just a few months before his death, he predicted that the Soviet Union would collapse in the near future. World War III, according to Cayce, isn't to be expected, thankfully. However, the Earth will be overtaken by something no less catastrophic: natural disasters. According to him, climate and seismic catastrophes will affect the entire planet, causing it to change significantly. 2022 will be the beginning of a new era that will become a new cycle of human development. The world will be purer both materially and spiritually, and the spark will come from Russia. A professor from the Apache Point Observatory in Wyoming University and astronomer Larry Molnar made his own prediction. Now, he said that in 2022, under the influence of the Swan constellation, we might see an explosion from two stars colliding. The explosion will be so bright that humans would be able to see it with the naked eye. These two stellar bodies have already created a singular system and are revolving around each other. An Indian boy named Ahiga Anand. Back on August 22, 2019, he uploaded a video to YouTube predicting that the world would expect huge crises. The difficult period, according to him, would begin in late November 2019 and continue until late April 2020. A global disease would come that would affect most world countries. I want to talk about the danger that's threatening the world, and I want to warn you about the coming catastrophe. Ahiga warned that the pandemic would destroy the world economy. He also said the virus would create distance between people. Now, he was just 14, and he made his predictions based on the position and influence of the planets. The young astrologist predicted that in the future, the whole world would have problems with wheat harvest. Now, when talking about the pandemic, he expressed hope that the third war would be the last. Natural disasters would hit the US and India particularly hard. The period from December 2021 to April 2022 would be very important for humanity and could affect the next 400 years. So here's another rich person, Bill Gates, former CEO of Microsoft, who thinks the COVID-19 pandemic will end in 2022, thankfully. Gates Foundation is also fighting global warming. He is sponsoring a project developed at Harvard in solar geoengineering. So the idea there is to use an air balloon to release a certain amount of calcium carbonate that is contained in salt water at an altitude of 12.5 miles in the atmosphere and create a dissipated cloud in the sky. The idea is that the brighter white clouds reflect more sunlight away from the planet into space, which will lower the greenhouse effect. If the project is successful, this method could be used to lessen the effect of solar rays on the Earth's surface and stop global warming. A trial launch is planned in 2022. Gates is also optimistic for many medical breakthroughs, including for Alzheimer's. Gates thinks that we need to pay special attention to it in 2022. Now, tests are being developed that will make it possible to diagnose the disease years before the characteristic signs appear. Currently, the disease is usually diagnosed using progressive stages. The founder of Microsoft says that he will try to defeat two more diseases, polio and tuberculosis, in 2022. Gates also thinks that we should expect a significant breakthrough in clean energy this year. He predicted real progress in developing ecologically clean and accessible hydrogen fuel. Well, that's all for today. Thanks for watching the whole video. You get gold stars for that, by the way. Let me know how you feel about predictions like these in the comments below. Do you believe them? Do you have some doubts? Were you ever able to successfully predict something? While you're at it, leave us a like. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.